Hello. We're back in the res today.
We are back. We're back with this beautiful setup that we had on our last special guest episode. And as you can see, we have a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Aeja, and I am a mom / photographer / educator.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. I love that. How old are you?
Oh, God. I'll be 27 in June.
Okay.
So 26.
We're all around the same age then.
It's like you're literally like 2 months older than me.
Really?
Yeah.
I turned 27 in October.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
So
Young
me and
moms.
Aeja actually went to high school together,
Yes,
coincidentally.
we did. Yes, we did.
And now we're here after all these years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Momming it up.
Yes.
Momming it
Oh my
up.
gosh. I feel like I've seen a lot of people that we've gone to high school with are now going into the mom life. And it's just like a beautiful thing. Because I feel like I was like one of the first ones. I got pregnant at 19 and had my son at 20. And I felt like one or two people had kids at that time. But then it was just like now it's like everyone's getting married and having babies and having these beautiful relationships. So it's really cool to see like people that I went to high school with is now like we're the adults now. We're about this life now.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think it's kind of crazy too how like people become like, you know, this part of your 20s, or it's kind of normal to have these things happen, but then you know, we kind of had like a little bit of a head start when we had our children earlier. Like you said, you were 19.
Yes.
And Johnny, you were 21 when you had Romeo.
Yeah. Well, when I got pregnant, I was 21. I had him at 22.
Okay, yeah, and I was 23 when I had Callie.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of got a little head start, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Now we get to like share our stories and like give advice to other moms who are just getting into it. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I wanted to introduce us because we didn't do that. You went right into it, and I was like, I didn't want to interrupt
Every
her.
time, without a doubt, we forget to introduce ourselves every time.
Okay. Well, I'm Johnny.
And I'm Rach.
And this is
a Young MILF podcast.
Yes. Yes. I really want to get into this conversation, so let's get this shit popping right here.
Let's get into this.
Yeah.
Here you go, your
Thank
Ollie
you.
Pop.
We're back with our favorites. You already know our Ollie Pop.
This is my first time having Olipop, so I'm really excited to try it today.
Yes. First honest review. Me and Rachel love it, as y'all know.
Right. Root beer is our favorite, I think.
Yeah, I think so. All right.
Should
Who wants to go first?
You want to do the honors?
Pop it.
Okay.
Nice.
Perfect. I guess I'll go next. I always fail at these. Okay, that wasn't that bad.
That wasn't
good.
that bad.
Crisp.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers. Yay.
Yes.
Oh,
You like it?
yes.
Yay!
Okay, because it really does taste like regular root beer.
Like with a
this
little
is good.
twist. Mm-hmm. I like how sweet it is. That's what gets me though.
It is, I think, a little bit sweeter than root beer, but it's good. Wow.
And it's healthy for you. That's what counts.
We love a healthy moment.
You hear that, Ollie Pop?
So Olipop.
Hello.
Here we are. Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. So
yeah.
I guess we can get into it. This month is actually Autism Awareness Month.
Yes.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
And so our friend Aeja here actually has a son who is diagnosed with ASD.
Yes. So my son, his name is Nugget. That's not his real name, but we call him Nugget. We're gonna call him Nugget.
Oh, beautiful.
His name is Nugget. He was born with autism, but he wasn't officially diagnosed until he turned 3.
Wow.
And then we had went to the doctors for a typical checkup for him, and they noticed that he wasn't meeting all of the milestones. So he wasn't really talking yet. He didn't really hold eye contact with people. He was just kind of in his own little world. And honestly, we thought like that was just him. Like he'll talk when he's ready. Maybe he don't like people. Maybe everybody's bothering him and we just don't know it.
Right.
But so he got tested, and then he was diagnosed. And it's been a journey. It's been a crazy journey. So he'll be 7 in June. It's crazy because his birthday's the day after mine, actually. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I did that, but we're both like big Gemini energy. So it's been a few years now where we've, been in this journey of learning about his autism and learning about, the ways to connect with him. And I think one of the biggest things for him is his communication with he's considered nonverbal, right? But for him, that looks like different things. So he knows his numbers, he knows his alphabet, he can sing songs that he really likes. It is more of that direct communication. Like if you ask him a question, he's more than likely either just going to repeat back what you said to him or continue to do whatever he's doing. So yeah, it's been a really crazy journey. I've learned a lot about autism, and I've learned a lot about like being a mom to a child with special needs. So it's been a really interesting journey these past couple years.
Oh, I think that's beautiful how you told that.
Thank you.
But did you, when he first received the diagnosis, did you have any like feelings come about?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the time, I was with his father, and his father didn't really know anything about autism. When I was in high school, I worked at a summer camp with kids with autism, and like education was what I wanted to do. So I kind of knew a little bit about it, but when he was officially diagnosed, it kind of was like oh shit, okay. Now the way that we raise him and his schooling and things like that are going to be different for him. So I think there was fear of failure as a parent. You know, this was a new role for me. This was something that I know kids with autism, but I've never had to parent a kid with autism.
Right.
So definitely a little bit of fear, definitely a little bit of curiosity. You know, I definitely wanted to learn as much as I can about how I could best support him. And then just kind of a little bit of open-mindedness, of just being like, all right, we're going to roll with this and see how it goes. Because, one, that's how it is with parenting. Like, it's just like, we're going to roll and see how it goes. Go with the flow. But then it was just like a little bit more of like, all right, we're just going to, see what he needs, find the best supports for him. So, yeah, there was a few feelings getting the diagnosis, but we were like, we're gonna hit this head on and do the best we can to support our child, because at the end of the day, that's what it was all about.
Definitely, I guess a big adjustment, but just to go with it with an open mind, an open heart.
For sure.
You say you're also into education, or do you teach?
So I don't teach. I right now what I do is I manage a group of in-school mentors. So I manage a team of people who go into the classes and support kids with their social emotional skills as well as some of their academics. So children who are a little bit below the baseline for their grade in math or reading, we support them, give them extra tutoring and mentoring help, and I've done that for about 3 years now, but before that I was in like daycares, so I've always been working with children, and the end goal before was to be a teacher. I really wanted to be a second grade teacher, but then I started working in schools, and it's more of the parameters of being a teacher that is just no thank you. But I love working with kids. I love working with students and being able to teach them something and be a role model for them. So
I love that for
Thank
you.
Right.
It almost sounds like, not even almost, your son's just very lucky to have you.
Right. Yes, I hope so. I hope that he feels that way. It is one of the struggles sometimes of being a parent with a child with autism is that communication piece. So you never know how he's feeling, unless he's actually really angry or upset, then it's full, But some of the things is just kids saying I love you, or just saying mom or things like that. It's I don't really get to hear that a lot. So I do hope I make him proud in those moments where he sees me, fighting for him and advocating for him, or just being in his space, being a mom to him. I do hope that he realizes that. Oh God, let me not cry. Okay, hold on, because I know y'all do this every episode, but
no, literally.
We do. It's just a part of us.
Yeah, but
it's a part of motherhood, and we all cry.
It's so emotional. There's so many emotions involved in that, and
for sure.
Yeah, I think it really takes a strong woman, a strong mother, to be able to parent a child as yours is, and I just feel like you said, not getting to hear mom or not getting to hear that I love you, that can be very difficult. But I think he must be so grateful, and he loves you.
Yeah,
I know he probably shows it in his own ways.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. He is very affectionate. He's very affectionate. He loves hugs. He'll like run up and like kiss me, and it's like so. In those moments, I'm like, okay, you know who I am. Like Mom. I love you. You love me. Yeah. So I do get a little bit of it. I think it is more of just like hearing it sometimes,
Right, of course. No, as we all want to hear it. Yeah, of course. But you are so strong.
Thank you.
Honestly, you are so smart. Like just from how you're, like what you're saying and how you're speaking, I'm like, you're that girl.
Right. I was not this girl when I first became a mom. Let me tell you, I was not this girl. It was like sophomore in college. I was mid-party life. It was like getting pregnant was definitely like a stop. Hold on, Aeja. You've got to reevaluate what you're doing right now. So the person that I am today has come from me being a mom and me like learning in this journey of advocating for my son, but also having to advocate for myself as a mom. This is 7 years of growth right here.
I mean, we always talk about that. We always talk about how motherhood is really such a beautiful journey in helping us grow into like the women that we are and making us stronger. And I think for the both of us as well, it has played a huge role in like making us the people that we are today. So
I don't think I would be at this point in my life if I didn't have my son. Like that's always
feel that.
I feel like I feel like some people look at it at one side of like bad. It's like, oh, like my child stopped me from doing this in my 20s, and it's like actually no. Like the person that I am and the person that I've grown to love of myself is because I was a mom and because like of the trials and tribulations that came with being a mom. So I will be forever grateful for the moment that I got pregnant. Like I don't regret getting pregnant young or becoming a mom young, because it really has brought me to where I'm at today. So it's actually been an amazing journey.
Oh, I love that. I'm about to get emotional.
Oh God!
No, literally, I'm like, that's so beautiful.
Little Olipop break.
Right, little sip.
Ooh. Little sip to save the tears.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I guess, so you said you were talking about like reaching out in terms of like, resources and stuff to help with your son. What have you guys been doing and like what has helped the most? Like,
Yeah. This journey has also taught me that the Philadelphia school district, the Philadelphia community is kind of shitty when it comes to our children. I think when he first got diagnosed, in order to get him into like an early start program, an early education program, there's a bunch of doctor's appointments, paperwork, like assessments on him where like the counselors had to come in and watch him and see how he interacted and stuff like that. He didn't get officially diagnosed until a year after we started our journey, and then he didn't get into an early education program until 7-8 months later. I think we found out officially in March, and then he was in December. So almost fully a year later, he finally got into an early education program, and that was super helpful. He started getting speech therapy, occupational therapy, and being able to learn some of those basic skills. And then he actually started kindergarten last January. It's been a year now. Yeah. So he was a little bit late. He was about to turn 6 when he got into kindergarten, and he started in January. So that's when they were able to have a spot in a autistic support classroom for him. And then ever since then, we've been working with the school to have that speech therapy consistently, and occupational therapy is what he gets right now. But also outside of the community, we always try to find, like, it's the simplest thing, like getting him a haircut. We have to go to a special barber who works with children with autism. And there's 2 of them in the city of Philadelphia. Wow. So just like advocating for things like that, but also advocating for things that he needs in that classroom as well. Like he needs a one-on-one support for things like daily living skills. So he is potty trained officially now, thank God. But he has trouble with like pulling up his pants and like buttoning his pants and things like that. So in the schoolhouse, they require him to have someone to go to the bathroom with him. And that has been a journey. He's now been in school for a year and a half now, and we still have not had a one-on-one. Like, it's constant meetings and like talking to different agencies. He did kind of have one recently, but then that company was just not what we needed for our child. So it's also that too of like testing different places, testing different services and agencies and seeing how they best fit, and some of them just really don't for what my child specifically needs. And the biggest thing is that every child with autism is different. You know, they need different things, they communicate differently. So just finding the best supports for him specifically is honestly a struggle sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, the trial and error.
Yeah. So,
it sounds like you've run into like a lot of obstacles and like hurdles, like trying to find the right support and like advocate for that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the blessing of it is that I really do have a good support system. You know, his dad and I aren't together, but he's still very active in his life. I have my family, my sister, my dad, my boyfriend, they all like really love and care about my son. So like, I think if I didn't have that, like if I was really out here doing this like single mom style, like I don't think I would be as strong or just like as, you know, as where I'm at today with providing for my kid, because like the support is what I need. And what he needs too, like he needs a big community. And I know like everyone says it takes a village, but like he has his own village who is like directly connected to him and like really fights for him. Like we've had times where like my whole family's ready to go up to the school because they're like, what happened with Nug today? Why he come home upset? And we're just like, all right.
I love that for
yes.
him, though.
And it's really amazing. And I think he knows it too. Like there's certain people who in my life who he just connects with. Like my boyfriend and him have a really great relationship. And I really adore and appreciate my boyfriend for the connection he's made with my son. But there have been just times where like my son sees a stranger in like a new setting or like in school and things like that, and he's just like, no. So having people who he really does trust and like I trust with him is super, super important for those obstacles. And it's really what gets us through those challenges.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess I have a question about you in a relationship. How did that come about? Like, you know, like, was there, I mean, obviously there was going to be some type of like transition and like, you know, you and this person's life, you know, so how was that and how did you like, you know, handle that? And it sounds good, but like I want to see like, you know.
It actually was kind of crazy. My son's father and I have always had a rocky relationship, and we officially really ended things about 2 years ago now, I would say 2.5 years ago. And then I met my current boyfriend just off the rail. Like we were at I was getting my car worked on and he was the mechanic that worked on my car.
Period.
So and like literally was like just fell in love. And it took a while for me to even like introduce him or like be comfortable. Like he would like come pick me up and like my sister would be babysitting for me, and like I would like rush out the house like, and because just like protecting my son, like I said, like my son is not doesn't communicate well, you know, can't really tell me things, so it's just like I've always shielded him from things. But after a while, you know, getting comfortable with my boyfriend and like us building a connection, it was just small things. Like literally 2-3 weeks after my boyfriend and I met, it was my son and I's birthday, and he not only got me something for my birthday, but he got my son something too. And like at that moment I was just like, okay, like I can trust you, like you care not just about me but the person that I also come with, you know what I mean? Because it is me and my son. It is it is not,
it's a package deal.
It is not either or, it is me and my son. So it was a little challenging at first with his dad, you know. That was just a hard conversation to have. And I know that they actually had a conversation. My boyfriend and my son's dad actually had a conversation when it was time for me, when I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for this person to meet our child. And I don't know what the conversation they had. They had it, you know, man-to-man or whatever.
Wow,
yes, they had it man-to-man. But after that, you know, my boyfriend, not like he was trying to, you know, take that place or anything like that. He's very respectful of the boundaries that we have. But he would do little things to help me. Like he would, like him and Nug have like a little fist bump handshake, and I'm just like, oh, okay. But he'll do little things, you know, get him dinner together. If I'm like, I take night classes too, so if I'm in class, he'll like check on Nug for me and things like that. So that was a little scary moment. I think it took a few months for me to be comfortable with him even like being around my son. And then it took even longer for me to like fully trust this person and be like, okay, you're now integrated kind of in my son's life. Because I think that was also the thing too of like, I don't like bringing too many people in and out of my son's life. Like that was never something that I wanted for him. So that was just a build up to bring my boyfriend around him. But I love him, and I can tell that he really loves and cares about my son as well. So that's just been like a really amazing thing.
Oh, I think it's so special when you're able to have a person come into your life and like not like take on the role, but kind of just like step up, and like really show that they care and like help you out and like want to be there for your son. It's really an amazing thing, and I can never thank him enough for the things that he does and helps me with my son, because it is a lot as a parent in general, but then you know, with the challenges that also comes with being a parent with a child with autism, it is a lot, and he is just like a really good solid rock for me. And I really appreciate it.
I love that. How long have you guys been together?
It'll be 2 years in June.
Oh,
it'll be 2 years.
So nice.
Yeah, I was like, I can't even find somebody.
We'll get all get there.
I'm just kidding. I really don't want a man. But that's
you like being.
I like being alone.
Right now.
And sometimes we need that too. Sometimes there was moments where like me and my son's father were off, and I was just like, I just need to do myself. Like it just needs to be me and my child, and we need to focus on me and that growth. And I learned a lot in those spaces too. So being alone, hey.
I think it's underrated.
It is.
We talk about this all the time.
No, literally. But
to have shit by yourself, do shit by yourself. You don't have to
worry about yourself. That one. I'm like, I don't have to check in with nobody.
Yes. I'm gonna just go out.
Me, right? Like the fuck.
Yeah, on my terms, my conditions.
Right. Except I do have to communicate with my baby dad to make sure our kids are taken care of.
Okay.
But that's about
that's
it.
That's the mom part, though. That's the mom part, though. You don't have like the girlfriend responsibility.
Right. Like, hey, I'm going. No.
Yeah.
I'm going out.
Yeah, I'm going out. That's it.
And that's all. How was your pregnancy?
My pregnancy was a crazy pregnancy. Okay, so I can start with like how I first found out I was pregnant. I was in college at the time, and my roommate was a singer. She wanted to be a singer, so I would go with her to like her different events and things like that. And one night, my baby dad, who was my boyfriend at the time, we went out together to this bar, and I was just like, it's so hot in here. Like, I don't know why I'm so hot. It's October. Like, I shouldn't be this hot. He's like, are you okay? I was like, I don't know. Like, I just feel weird. I don't know. And he's like, Aeja, are you pregnant? And I was like, no, there's no way. I was like, am I pregnant? Am I pregnant?
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta stop drinking. I don't know, like what? So we rushed home. The next day I took a test, and I remember he was at work, and I took the test by myself in the bathroom, and like, I was like, I'm not gonna look. I gotta look. I'm not gonna look. All right. So I ended up looking, and I was pregnant. I was like, no, that's a faulty test. I had like 2 more tests, took both tests, and all 3 of them said I was pregnant. And I was just like, oh shit, okay. And we had conversations before about like if I was to get pregnant, because honestly we were dumb and like not doing the best of preventing it. So like we were just being dumb. And I don't know why. Yeah. But so I called them up, and I was just like, I really gotta tell you something. Like, can you go on break for a second? Like, what? Like, we need to talk. And he was just like, what is it? What's wrong? I was like, you remember how yesterday you were saying you think I'm pregnant? Well, and I just flipped the camera and I showed him the test, and he was just like, oh shit. And we just spent like 10 minutes saying oh shit to each other.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, like just spent 10 minutes saying oh shit to each other. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm about to leave, and we'll have a conversation. So we had the conversation of like what was about to happen, and you know, we agreed that we were gonna take this ride, and it was a crazy ride. So I found out in October, and then just from there it was just like morning sickness. I had the worst morning sickness. I couldn't eat anything, but I craved everything. Damn. I like corn dogs are my favorite, and then I would like throw them up, and it was just a mess. So for my first like trimester, I was a mess. And then my second trimester, I was always really small. So I didn't start showing until I was like 6 months almost. And my second trimester is when I started really like telling people, and like I had a little tiny bump, and I was just like, yeah, like I'm pregnant. And then I had went to the doctor's after we found out the gender. So I think this was about like January at this point. We were finding out the gender. And the doctor let me know that like my iron levels were really low, and like and my son was like just taking all of everything from me. And I was just like, great, okay, cool. So I ended up having to get iron transfusions throughout my pregnancy. Like the last trimester of my pregnancy, I was going to the doctor once a week for like 7 weeks, and sitting there for like 2 hours getting iron transfusions. But it was a really great pregnancy. Like, he was very active in my belly. Like, I just remember I have so many videos of him just like kicking, and like you could just see his feet like coming through my belly. So that was a beautiful thing. That was a beautiful moment, like to just have a life inside of you and just feel that life. Like, it was crazy. Until he was sitting up under my ribs for my last few weeks.
Please.
Oh my God, when their foot would like get stuck.
Like, that shit would piss me the fuck off.
His whole head, bro. And it's just like, all right, you try to like massage down, like, come on, can you come over here? And then it's just like, no, I'm chilling where I'm at. So, and it's funny, earlier you were saying about how Romeo was just like this, just and chilling. My son, he refused to turn. So like one moment his head is like up here and his feet are down, and then the next moment he's just like he turns a little bit. But my whole pregnancy, like, we were planning for a C-section because
he was just, like, breached?
Yes, he was breached, and he just did not want to move. And I remember my last appointment, we went in, they're like, yep, he's still breached, and your due date is 5 days away. So we're going to plan for the C-section. Yeah. And honestly, I was scared shitless to push him out. So I was just like, okay, well, we'll see. Like, we'll see what happens. Yeah. But then I remember the day that they scheduled my C-section, I went in, I took an ultrasound, they're like, oh, he turned. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, like I said earlier, my son and I are a day apart. So on my birthday, I was like, all right, he's got to get out. Like, he's got to go. But he can't come today. Right. We can't share the same birthday. Right. Yeah. So I remember I didn't even celebrate my birthday, because I was like, well, I feel like he's going to come. I had, like, contractions all day. I went to the hospital already, like, twice, and they kept turning me away because they said I wasn't dilated enough.
How far along were you by this point?
I was full term.
Like,
I was
40 weeks?
Yes, I was full term. Like, his due date was the next day. His due date was always the day after me. Okay. Yeah, so I was like, he's got to come. Like,
he came, like, right on time, basically.
Yes, he came right on time. So I remember it was, like, 9 o'clock that night, and I was like, I have to go to the hospital. Like, they're going to tell me that I'm not dilated enough, and I'm going to punch them in the face. Okay? Because they don't know what I'm feeling right now.
Oh, I don't know.
I do. Yeah. So I went to the hospital at like 9, and they're like, okay, you're 3 centimeters. We're going to keep you. And I just remember, like, give me the drugs. Give me the drugs. I don't care. Yeah. Like, right now, like, I can't. I was in
Especially because, like, you were already planning for a C-section, so you weren't even prepared to have a vaginal birth.
No, thank you at all. And my son was big. My son was 8 pounds, 8 ounces. Okay. And I was like, I'm not pushing. And love my baby, but he's got a big head. Okay? And we saw that in the ultrasounds, and I was like, big head, small body. Yeah. I don't know.
How's this going to work out?
I don't know. So
how was that getting out?
Yeah. I remember, and my sister was there at this time. She came to the hospital with me. My dad was there, and my son's father was there. And I remember telling them, and it's funny because my sister has a video, and I was just like, if his head gets stuck, push him back up and cut him out. And you have my permission to push him back up, because I'm not doing this. But then, you know, I was like, my water still hadn't broke. They ended up popping it while I was in the hospital. And I remember going to sleep. Like, I'm in labor at like 10, 11 hours at this point. I'm just like, when is this going to happen? Like, I'm ready at this point. Like, I thought this was supposed to be quick. Like, why am I still here? What is happening? And then I remember falling asleep and waking up. And I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, is it cold in here? Like, I'm so cold. And he touched me, and he's like, Aeja, you're burning up. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, you might want to go get the nurse. I don't feel good. Yeah. And then the nurse came in and checked us, and his heart rate had dropped. I had a crazy high fever. Oh. So they rushed me for an emergency C-section.
Oh.
And it's like 7 o'clock in the morning at this point, and they give me whatever, the anesthesia. And I'm like already doped up, and they give me this anesthesia, and I'm even more doped up. So I honestly don't really remember the moment I gave birth. I remember my son's father reaching over me and being like, he's here, he's out. I'm like, great. And then I went to sleep. And then I remember like waking up a few hours later, and I had like my son next to me, and I was like, oh, he's here, oh my God. But from the moment that they told me I had to get an emergency C-section to like that next day, a few hours later, I really don't remember. I kind of remember I felt them tugging on me when they were closing me up, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to feel this. I don't know if this is right. But yeah, it was a crazy pregnancy, even crazier labor. But we made it. We were healthy. We both were healthy. I did have to stay in the hospital a little bit longer. I think I was in there 4 days. But other than that, it was like we were both healthy. We were safe. And I did it.
Yeah. You did it.
I did it.
How did you heal? I know our last mom that we had on here, our friend Molly, she also had vaginal births as we did. So I think you're our first mom guest who had a C-section. So how was the healing process for you? Was it okay?
No, honestly. So I got, like I said, I got an epidural, and I moved a little bit when they gave me the epidural. So the whole time I was healing, it like my spine was hurting and like my head feels so heavy. I also wasn't allowed to pick up my son for, I think they said like 2 weeks. I couldn't like pick up my child by myself.
Oh my goodness! So you had to have a lot of help.
Yes.
In, like the first like beginning of the postpartum.
Yes,
stage.
yeah. Like I was pretty much bedridden for like at least 2 weeks, and like I just remember like not even being like I would have to have help going to the bathroom, like even like eating, like sitting up was a process for me because not only I had to be careful of my stitches, but like my body was just so drained and so tired, and I was just like, I can't do this, like I can't. So I definitely had to have a lot of help within the first two to 3 weeks, I would say, before I felt any type of normal to actually do stuff on my own. It was a wild ride.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy because I don't know anybody personally who had a C-section. I don't think.
It's funny because my mom has 6 kids, and I want to say like 4 of us were C-section babies. Really? So I feel like I talked to her a lot about it when they first told me that I was going to have a C-section, and she was just like, you know, you just got to relax, and that's like a lot on your body. Like that's a major surgery. Like a lot of people don't understand how big a surgery that actually is. Like they are cutting
multiple layers, right?
7 layers. 7 layers of skin, pulling a child out of you, and then just sewing that shit back up.
Do they also, I don't know where I heard this, but do they like move your organs?
Yeah, they had like...
Sorry.
I'm so queasy with that shit, bro. It's okay. We can talk about it. I'll just...
There was definitely some movement around. That's what I was saying. Like, I could feel them, like...
Right, the pressure, maybe, and like,
Yeah. So it wasn't painful, but I can definitely feel them, like, on my belly. Yeah. Moving
Sorry, I'm like over here like...
and I kind of felt like the weight of him like come off. And I think afterwards, like looking at it, like, and I still have the scar. I do still have the scar. Looking at it, and I was like, oh shit, this is my first surgery. Oh my God.
Right.
You brought life into the world with that shit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm happy like you're healed now.
Yes.
Wait, is it not also C-section awareness month?
It is actually, yes. April is all of that.
So.
April is C-section awareness month and also Autism Awareness month. Yeah.
And
this
who would have thought we would have you here?
We're just gonna celebrate it all. Yes.
Yeah.
It's literally perfect.
That's crazy because we've been trying to like record with you for a while.
I know, yeah. We
I think the first conversation we ever had was months, probably even
last year, maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
And we're here.
We're here.
We made
We're
it.
doing it. We made
it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
I know I said that, but I already. But thank you guys so much. It's an amazing opportunity. I think one of the biggest things as a parent with autism is always like that advocation and like just letting people know. I think I didn't ask this, but in my head when I was preparing for this, I was like, oh my God, if they ask you what is the hardest part of being a mom with autism, I think it is knowing that society does not understand. Like, a lot of people nowadays are so ignorant, and I mean ignorant and, like, they're just unknown of, like, what it means to have autism. And I think that is, like, where, like, I'm all about it. Like, I love talking about Nug, and I love, like, the first thing I say is, like, I'm a special needs mom. I'm a mom to a child with autism, because there is so much to that that I just want everybody to know and, like, be educated on. And it frustrates me that people aren't, you know? So I think a lot of the times when, because my son is very energetic. He is a very active, crazy boy. And even though he's nonverbal, he can make some noise. He can make some noise. And sometimes he does not care where he's making the noise. So when we're on our way to school on SEPTA at 7 a.m., he is living his best life, and he might be vocalizing. The technical term is stemming. So he might be stemming, and that sounds like he's just, like, loudly repeating a song or a phrase or things like that. And, like, sometimes I can, like, feel or, like, hear people whispering and, like, staring, and like, the mama bear comes out of me, and I'm just like,
and what about it?
Yeah, like, he's doing him. Like, do you have something to say? Because you can say it to me. But then it's also just, like, I just know it's not worth it at the end of the day, because then I have to sit here and explain to you that, like, he's not doing anything except for expressing himself in the only way that he knows how. And I'm sorry I'm actually not sorry that bothers you. It is your fault that bothers you. So
totally their fault. I think it's so crazy how at this point in like society and in time that, like, people aren't more aware that this is, like, more, like, honestly more of a normal thing. Like I mean I have cousins who are autistic as well, and, like, you know, they do the same things that your son does, and it's just like, why aren't you guys educated on this kind of stuff? Why does it bother you? Like, this is you're just, like, projecting. Like, you know, like, I think you should just mind your business and leave it be.
Mind your business, and we're just gonna be over here, because at the end of the day, he does not care. He does not care who's looking at him. He does not care who bothers him. And I think I've learned so much from the way he's just so carefree and, like, still is unapologetically himself. Okay. You know, or he just, like, he's still going to live his life the way he knows how, despite who is looking at him, despite anything that is said to him. And, like, that really has taught me a lot too, when I'm, like, getting frustrated in those moments and, like, wanting to, like, be mama bear. And it's just like, Aeja, you could take this moment to educate them, but is it worth it? Is it gonna stick?
Are they gonna listen?
Are they gonna listen?
Yeah.
Right. Are they gonna listen? Is it worth you getting so frustrated right now, when at the end of the day, you know, he's still safe? They're not, you know, they didn't say anything to him. That would be a different story. But, you know, he's still going to be the same Nug that he always is. So I think that I wish that people were more educated, and I know that, you know, Autism Awareness Month is a great month to be advocating for that, but I feel like it also is, like, I do that all year, and I try to really just continue to educate people, which is why I was so excited to come on here and talk about this, because a lot of people just really don't understand and really don't know that these people that have autism are just amazing in their own way. They're so smart. Like, my son knows 3 different languages. Like, he I mean, English is his main language, but, like, because of his fixation on things, he now knows, like, Spanish. He knows, like, he can say the alphabet in Spanish. He can say his numbers up to 20 in Spanish. Goodness. He knows Russian. Like, will, like, he loves Play-Doh, so he's a very, like, hands-on person, and he will, like, make letters and shapes with his Play-Doh. And, like, one day I'm looking at him and I'm like, that looks like the alphabet, but a little bit different. And I'm like, Nug, what's that? And he starts, like, repeating the alphabet in Russian, and I'm just like, and I look over on his tablet, and it's the Russian alphabet on his tablet, and I'm like, oh shit. Wow. Okay. So it is just, like, so amazing to see, like, even though there are, like, limitations on his communication, he's still very much knowledgeable and so smart. And I wish people would see that side of him a lot more than just seeing his stemming, because I think that's where the judgment comes from. Yeah. But if you took a second to get to know someone with autism, you will see how incredibly amazing they really are.
Oh, I think it's so beautiful how much pride you take in being
that's my baby.
Just being a mother to a child with autism. Yeah. I think it's so amazing how you're like, yeah, like, that's my kid.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
And I feel like this also took me a lot to get to this moment too, of like, we talked earlier about the feelings that came with his diagnosis. And I think almost guilt came a little bit, and like not shame for him, but it's like, did I do something, you know, did I do something to cause this, or like, you know, not being like, sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough, you know, sometimes I feel like I failed him, you know, and I think it took a lot for me to realize that, like I said, he is this happy kid. Like, he is healthy. He's got 2 parents that love him. He's got so many people that love him. Something that you guys said in your previous episode with Q is just like, there's other factors in the world that are going to influence your child growing up. And I spent so much time trying to like shelter him so that he didn't have those, and like it was just his parents. But releasing him into the world to be himself has taught him all of those things. It has taught him like that, you know, there are other people besides his parents that care. And there's other ways for him to learn, you know. So I think that a lot of that came from letting go of those fears and letting go of that guilt and the shame, because I didn't do anything, you know, I didn't do anything wrong. Nobody did anything wrong in this situation. This is just the gift that we got, you know. And I had to switch my thinking to look at it as a gift more than like a diagnosis, or more than just like something that was attached to him, his illness or whatever.
Right.
This is a gift, and it is taught us so much. It's taught him so much, and I don't think I could have it any other way.
Oh
Yeah.
That was so beautiful.
Stop.
Said. I know. Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
I'm tearing up a little bit.
No, I know. Just a little bit. You mildly pop.
Yeah. I think that is the thing, like, knowing that it is a gift, knowing that like it is not a burden, it is not a challenge, it is something that we embrace every day. And like I always try to instill in him, you know, like I still talk to him like regular, like I don't baby him or any, you know. I do think sometimes I spoil him a little bit, but I think that's the mom, like that's just like that's my baby, that's my baby. And he does definitely give it away with a little bit more than he should, but it's fine. It's fine. He's not doing any harm, you know. So
I love this.
I know.
It's so nice hearing you talk. Honestly, I'm like, I have to
You're
listen.
so great at this.
Thank you. I actually have social anxiety so bad.
Girl, me too.
I couldn't even fucking tell.
So bad.
Right, I couldn't tell either.
So,
but I'm in the same boat as you, so we got this. It's okay.
But when it comes to talking about my child, that's something. I go on and on all day.
Hours.
Yes, like that's my guy. Wait, can they see him?
Oh
I
yeah,
think they can.
Guy.
Yeah, he's right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
My guy, that picture he made during kindergarten for Mother's Day, and he's not a picture person. He doesn't care. Like he's like, when I try to record him, he will turn it off. But they got him to smile and post for that picture, and like his school pictures, he's mean mugging all of his school pictures, but that was one that they got him smiling, and I cried when they brought that home with him, and I was just like, oh God, my baby, like, oh my God, I can't. But I think, like, that was also really important to me, too, you know, because there was a time where I felt like I wasn't going to get that type of stuff, you know? Like, kids in the school are always writing, you know, birthday cards and things like that, and that's not what his interest is. So, and I accepted that, but, like, I really do appreciate the teachers that he has, too, and the teachers that he works with who still include him in things like that and still, like, you know, give him the opportunity. He definitely painted that himself. You could tell with the paint on the back.
That's okay.
But yeah, so like bringing home those things is just like, it's amazing to see that like his teachers still also are just like, this is something that he can do. This is something that he can show still and participate in. So I think that's the biggest thing too. Just trying to make sure that he doesn't feel different in any way.
Right, just include him in all the things that every kid can do.
Yeah, because he can do it. He can do it. I think that's a big struggle that I have too, is like a lot of people are like, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. I'm like, actually, you don't know what he can do. He can do anything he wants to. Thank you very much.
You don't know shit.
Yeah, you don't know about a damn thing.
And I'm sure like you will keep the same attitude as he grows older, like as he grows into like teenage years and adulthood even, like, I think, you know, each phase will be a transitional phase, of course, but I think as long as you keep that same attitude that you have now, you have nothing to worry about. Like, always tell him that he could do anything he wants. Like, the world is his. Like, you know, I think it's great that you still parent him as if, like, he is just a regular kid. He just has this gift attached to him, you know? I think that's great.
I think that is just, like, my whole mantra as a mom is just, like, he is different. Every child is different and special in their own way. But he is not like this negative thing that society has labeled autism as, you know, and that is not the case at all. He's the smartest kid that I know. He's the goofiest, silliest kid that I know. And I really do hope that he keeps that, you know, throughout his life. I think that is one of the biggest worries as a mom. You know, it's like, kids growing up, oh gosh, what is, you know, is he gonna get to that point where it's just like, at some point I have to, you know, let him venture into the world on his own.
Give him a sense of independence.
That is the scariest thing. I don't want that. I need my baby to be my baby my whole life, but he is growing up and he is like gaining some of that like knowledge and independence where like he can just go play at the park at a distance, you know. I don't have to be all up on him. And he knows that he looks for me, he'll come right back. So I do hope that he continues to carry that with him when he grows up and eventually be able to advocate for himself. But if he can't, I'm still be there. Be right there behind him.
Right by his side. Right by his side.
Like, what y'all doing? Oh, okay.
So you like talked a lot about like all the wonderful things, which obviously, girl, like you carry that shit well.
You really do.
And it's honestly just super admirable and like just beautiful, honestly, to see. But is there anything that like you're scared of, like a fear or like you know, not even just one, just like, you know?
Yeah, I am scared of leaving before my child. I am so scared that at some point in his life he's not going to have anyone to advocate for him the way that I've advocated for him, because at the end of the day there's no one who advocates for my child the way that I do, and his dad does. I do give him that credit. So I think that is a real fear of like me one day not being here and he is alone. I think that's my biggest fear. Oh, I'm about to cry. I think that is my biggest fear, and something that like weighs on me a lot, not just as a mom, but just as someone who like cares for him. Like, I want the world to be so nice to him. Like I said earlier, this world is not nice. This world is not understanding. And I think every day I have the fear of him going even to school. Like, he can't communicate. He can't tell me what happened in school. He can't tell me if a kid is bullying him or if his teachers like yelled at him or something like that.
Right.
You know, and like I wonder and I need to know, because working in a school, I see what happens, and I see how some of these kids are treated, and that scares me. So there have been plenty of times where, like, thankfully the school that he's at and the teacher that he has and the para professionals in his classroom are very open to communication. Like, they have my number, they text me updates all the time, or if things like are happening in the school with my son. But it's also a fear. It's always a fear of like, what's going on, like what's happening.
Right.
So I think those are my two biggest ones. It's like even just the day-to-day is like, is he okay? Even now, like, I know he's safe right now with his dad, but it's like, what are y'all doing? Is he okay? Did he eat yet? Like, what is happening?
Right.
So
I think all moms feel that though. It's like nobody can take care of my baby like how I take care of my baby. I felt that for a long time too. When I had first had Callie, I had a lot of anxiety like leaving the house or leaving her with my parents or Keenan's mom, because those are like the only other people who really watch her when I'm not around. And I didn't go anywhere for a long time. Like, I literally would be in the house with her for honestly like a year. I didn't go anywhere, and it was just because I was like, nobody got her like I do. Like, I know how to take care of her to the best of my ability, and nobody else will do it this way.
Because I did it for 9 months in my belly. Thank you.
And I think it's also just like I don't know, it's kind of like in us as mothers. Like, it's like an instinct kind of thing. Like, it's like you kind of have that mama bear mode that you were talking about. Like, you just like feel like territorial in a way. Like, and I feel that for real though. It's like, what are you doing like when you're not with me? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, for the longest time, like I said, I worked in daycares before I started working in schools, and when he was at the age to go to a daycare, he was at the daycare I worked at. Oh, he was right across the hall from me. Yeah, so and there was no any conditions, like you can't actually go to a daycare where I don't work at. That's not. So I definitely had that in the beginning of like his first year of life. He spent it with me, and it was just like, and I was definitely like looking out the window over to his classroom and everything. Like, they knew if anything happened, like just run across the hall. And then even like when he started to go to school, it was just like, I'm the only one. I've got to pick him up, I got to drop him off, like I need to be like, we're gonna tour this school, and I definitely didn't go out for a long time too. Like I think that is like a big thing that his dad and I used to, you know, talk about a lot, was just like when we had our son, we didn't want anyone else watching him. Like even his dad's mom, like I was just like, you know, I don't know, it's just too much. So
no, I know.
It was just a lot where we just, you know, stopped date nights and things like that. And it was just probably, for a good year where it was just like, nobody can watch our son. Nobody can have, like, this is my baby. I need that time. And it took a lot to get out of that space too, where now I'm like a little bit more comfortable. Like, there's still only 4 people that can watch my child, but it is just like, I know when he's with those 4 people, he's safe and he's okay.
Exactly.
You know? Like, and he's loved and cared for. So I think that was like knowing that these people are caring for my child, and I can go and have a little bit of fun, and, you know,
as we all should.
I think that's super important to just have your me time, to have your girl time, to just sit and talk. What the fuck is that noise? Somebody's talking. I was like, what is that?
I know.
But yeah, just like, regardless of what you're going through motherhood, how many kids you got going on, like, it don't gotta be days, it don't gotta be weeks. It could just, like, you know, be a few hours, just some time. And I think, you know, the beginning of motherhood, that is kind of hard to step away. Like, it is really difficult, especially when, like, you grew and formed this person that, like, is your everything. It's so difficult to even make time for that, or even, like, figure out how that even works and fits into your life. Like, you're like, what happens when they're hungry? Like, what happens, like, when they need to sleep?
I am breastfeeding this baby. You do not have the boob milk. No.
I have everything he needs.
Yes,
exactly.
But we always talk about too how, like, self-care is so important as mothers, and how it really like fuels us at the end of the day, because motherhood can be consuming at times. And I think, you know, we always have to come back to ourselves and, like, remember that we also matter. And I think over time, like, I realized that was a big part of, like, what I was missing, like, when I first became a mother. And then I started making the time for me, and it really does make a big difference. And I think we all deserve that, for real.
I know you guys have touched on, like, postpartum depression in your episodes before, and, like, that was a time where I was just, like, you know, in the house all the time, like, I was making connections with my baby, but I realized how much I needed to be outside and just have, like, me time. And, like, back then, my me time literally looked like driving to the store, blasting my favorite song in the car.
Girl, same.
And that was my me time, and that's what I needed. And those moments where I was just by myself for 5 seconds was just beautiful. Like, it was just like, oh shit, Aeja, you've got to do this more, or you're going to go crazy.
Lose your mind.
And I think there was a moment where, like, I had went out with a friend of mine, and she's like, Aeja, this is the first time I've seen you in, like, 12 months. And I was like, you know, that's what...
It's motherhood.
Yeah, that's my life. But they were talking to me that night, and they were just like, you know, I know you talked a lot about, you know, how sad you were feeling, and you know, not being able to get out of the house. So I'm glad you came out. And I was like, shit. Was I? Like, dang, oh shit, I was kind of depressed. I was kind of having that postpartum depression, and I didn't even realize that until I actually got out of the house. And I think that's something that a lot of moms go through too, of just like, you don't even realize that you're stuck in this. You don't even realize that you're stuck in the depression.
Because it becomes your normal.
Yes.
Literally, like, the day to day, and then it just goes by, like, really fast.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because it's like you're taking care of this child, and like, your body is like, you can't even do anything, because it's like your body knows when your baby is hungry, because then your boobs start to leak, and then it's just like, oh shit, okay, well, now it's time for him to eat, and then it's just like, did I eat? Oh shit, let me go make sure I ate. And it just becomes this routine of like trying to sleep when they're sleeping, but then you're watching them sleep to make sure nothing happens, and you just fall into that cycle. And it took a while for me to be able to realize I was in that cycle and be able to pull myself out of that cycle with the help of my friends and like my family. But that shit was crazy.
Yeah, because it is crazy.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, those first like couple months postpartum, like I feel like my days just turned into one.
Yeah.
Like I didn't breastfeed. I exclusively pumped because I couldn't breastfeed, and I literally just remember pumping, cleaning pump parts, and living off of granola bars and orange juice for like 5 months.
Yeah.
That was all I did, and then I'm not sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was such a weird time. Like, and I just started getting full night's sleep again because my baby doesn't sleep. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
It's just such a crazy time that we all go through.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, especially for you, it's like, you know, having a baby and then raising him and then like getting a diagnosis as you did. It's like, you know, it's definitely different in some ways, but you know, I think it's all the same as well.
Yeah.
Though. Like,
I still don't sleep though. I still don't sleep, you know.
You have trouble sleeping?
Yeah, so something that I actually learned while I was, you know, finding him supports and things like that is like children with autism, there's a missing connection in their brain that tells them when they're sleepy. So he does not always have, like, his brain will not always tell him that he's tired, so he would just keep going, and he will, like, there will be moments where he's like nodding off, and then it just pops up, and then it's just like, it's playtime for another hour, and it's like, bro, you were just about to go to sleep. And then when he does crash, he crashes like he's done. So there's no balance. There's no nap time. There's no, like, I have to wait till it's like 9 o'clock before even trying to get him to go to sleep, or he's up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, full energy.
Damn.
Not caring. Not caring. Literally just this past week, I was up in his room Monday, Tuesday at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, bro, please.
And he just wants to play.
And he just wants to play.
Aww.
And like sometimes like I'll just give him his tablet and like, you do you, bro. And I'm gonna just sleep right here next to you.
Right.
But he's also very active, and he gets excited with the songs that he's listening to and things like that. So he might get up and jump on the bed, and I'm like, my alarm goes off in 20 minutes from work. I then have to work a 9-hour day.
Yeah.
Please, bro. But yeah, so that's something I learned too. It's just like, for some reason, a brain doesn't always tell them when they're tired, and they can just fight it.
Wow. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, me either.
They can just fight it, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
You know, it definitely takes some strength to like deal with a kid who like doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
Callie was the same way. Like, she still has her 2 a.m. nights sometimes, and I'm like losing my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What, like, do they not know that we have like, responsibilities?
Right.
Definitely don't.
No, yeah.
I think they know. They don't care.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, they don't care.
Whatever.
They're like, actually, you're my mom, and what are you doing? Because I'm also still like that with my mom too. Like, when my mom doesn't answer the phone, what are you doing? I'm your child. Like, why are you not answering me? So I definitely feel it. And he's like, Mom, I'm up. Why aren't you up? And I'm just like, okay. I hear it. I feel it, I guess.
So, I mean, I guess we were talking about, like, you said, like, you're really not able to get him, like, to go, like, start going to sleep until, like, 9 o'clock. Have you kind of established, like, any, like, routine, or is he not really routine-based?
No, his routine is just, like, he needs a routine.
Okay.
He needs routine. He needs to know what's happening. So we do try our best to keep the routine, but I think, like I said, I work in a school, so he's getting out at the same time that I'm getting off of work, and then I have night classes, so I try my best to, you know, get him in the routine of, like, make sure he's eating at a certain time, and, like, you know, getting ready for bed, getting a bath and things like that. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but we do have a routine. It does not matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's all based on what he wants to do.
Yes, it really is based on how my guy is feeling in that moment. And it could change. 1 second, he might be tired, and this next second he's up, and it could be vice versa. He could be jumping around, and then I check on him 2 seconds later, and he's passed out on his bed, and I'm just like, up in bed. So yeah, routine is a big part of his life, especially in like school and like helping him transition through things. But it is how he's feeling, and what he wants.
Right, it's all up to him, I guess.
It's Nug's world, and I just live in it. I'm just here. I just supply the food and the clothing.
And the moral support.
Yeah.
And everything support.
Yeah.
Everything else.
I'm the side cheerleader. That's all I got.
Right.
He is the star of the game.
I just love his little nickname. I have to say, every time you say Nug, I'm like,
yeah, it's actually tatted on me. I actually have his name tatted on me. Yes. The puzzle
beautiful.
piece and his birthday. This was so his real name is Richard. He's a junior technically. But there's too many Richards in our lives. My dad's name is Richard.
Oh.
His dad's name is Richard. His dad's name is Richard. Why did we have to name our child Richard? But at the time, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I did not have a boy's name picked out. I really wanted a girl. I had a girl's name picked out and ready. So, and I was kind of in denial the whole time. So when it came time for names, I was just like, oh shit, whatever, like, go ahead. I guess so. I did get to pick his middle name. But then I think Nugget came from when I was pregnant and not knowing the gender. I didn't want to call my baby it, or like, you know.
Me either.
Yeah, so I was just like, Nugget, and it just stuck. And like literally that is what he's known by. Like, so it's funny because my friend commented on my story the other day and was like, Aeja, sometimes I forget what his real name is, because who is Richard? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. His name is Nug. His name is Nugget. Anybody who's ever met him, like everybody, that's his government name. His Nugget. Right. It basically should be on his birth certificate.
Oh, I love that. I'm sure he'll carry that with him, like, as he grows up.
And people tell me, they're like, when are you gonna stop calling him that? Like, he's gonna be so embarrassed. I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. That is his name. That is all he knows. His teachers call him Nugget. Like, everybody, that is Nugget.
Yeah.
If someone was like, oh, hey, Richard, he would be like,
who's that? Who's Richard?
I don't know that. I don't know. You talking about my dad? You looking for my dad?
Right.
Like, no. You looking for Papa? No.
Like, what's the Kiki Palmer? And then she's like, sorry to that man.
Yeah, I do not know that man. I do not know that man. And he's definitely like, I do not know no Richard. Right. Besides my dad. And that's it. That's it. So, yeah. I love his nickname, too. And, yeah, that's Nugget for life. Aww. Nuggy.
I love that so much.
That's beautiful.
Can I just say before I ask you the last question, I guess, I just love how you watch and listen to us.
Yes.
You're like quoting stuff. I'm like, this is so cool.
No, yes, yeah. I think I started when, oh God, how long have you been doing these now?
God. Okay, so technically, I guess, not even technically, for real, we started 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Going on 3 years ago. But we didn't get consistent until, like, the end of last year.
Yeah.
And then this year is the first time we're, like, really
I don't know.
it.
I think it was because I follow you, and, like, I saw you posting it it has to be at least a year that I've been watching. But I saw you posting it, and I was just like, oh, that's so cool. Like, and I've told you guys when I was commenting on your stories, where like, this is an amazing platform for moms because we don't have that space all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I just saw it on your page and started following, started listening. And low key, I listen to that shit all the time. Like, I was just listening to your other episode, like when I'm going to work or things like that. Yeah. And like, don't talk to me while I'm listening, because like my boyfriend, he'll be like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, hold on,
my show's on.
Yeah, like hold on. And I'm like listening to the podcast, or I'm like watching it on my laptop, and he's like, what are you listening to? And I'm just like, excuse me, I'm listening to my life right now, okay? These are other people, like, directing me to my life. Right. But, yeah, it's like, I think this is an amazing platform that you guys have created for yourselves, but also, like, just to talk about the things of, like, being a young mom. Like, a lot of people try to look down because we had our kids so young. Yeah. And it's like, first of all, F you. Second of all,
that bitch.
Okay, right? I'm a shit, and I'm doing the damn thing as a mom. Okay, but yeah, I just love the voice that y'all give to these lives that we've created. And yeah, I don't know. It's been a little bit that I've been listening to you guys, so it's been amazing.
Well, thank you.
I love that.
I appreciate that so much.
like, that means so much. Yes.
Because sometimes when you do something like this, or just what we do, you don't know that anyone's listening.
Yeah, like, are you there? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Are you there? Hello? Are you there? But yeah, I do. And I connect with a lot of the stuff you guys say. That's what I was saying. Like, I was like, I always think that I'm alone in the mom journey. You know, I think now a lot more of my friends have kids, but I was the first mom out of my friend group and things like that. So it was just like, nobody really understands, nobody knows. But then, like, listening to you guys, and I'm just like, oh shit, they know. Yeah. They heard that day I was crying because my son would just not stop running around. Like, bro, sit down. Yeah. Bro, sit down. Like, you guys were talking about how, like, when Callie's on the show and she's just so, like,
Callie girl, please.
And I'm just like, that is me, like, when I am trying to do my school work, or like when I'm trying to lesson plan for my kids, and it's just like Nugget's like hopping on my lap. Like, I've had so many Zoom calls where, like, just like, oh, Nug's here, and like I have to like put him on my lap and like hold him, and still do what I'm doing, and still, like, you know, work and you know, live life. So thank y'all for creating this.
That's so sweet.
That is so sweet. I'll cry. I'm like, no. It's like every time we feel the tears, we're like,
just do what we need to do.
That's so yummy.
Olipop is the drink to stop tears.
Right. Olipop saves the day.
There you
go. In case you didn't know.
Right.
Lifesaver.
Okay, well, I guess we can get on with the last question. Okay.
Um,
we started doing this with our one friend, Molly.
Okay.
I did it with Q. Yeah. Now we're doing it with you.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
Take it away.
So the last question will be, is there any advice that you would give mothers who are new to parenting a child with autism?
Yes. And its first is do your research. Do your research, learn as much as you can about autism, and then take that knowledge and use what you can with your child. Like I said, every child with autism is different, and you really learn what your child is like and what your child needs just through trial and tribulation. So research as much as you can, but also it's okay. It's okay. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your child. Find your supports and really lean on them, because you're not alone. And advocate for yourself too. Take your moments. Take your time to be a person, and just love yourself. Love your child. It is going to be okay. It is going to be okay.
That was nice. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
I kind of want to add on to that question.
Okay.
Not even add on to it, but we talk about new moms.
Yeah.
What is something that you would say to a mom who's already, been on this journey?
You the shit. You the shit. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing, and you're not alone. Like, you have created this amazing life, and you have raised this person, and they are a reflection of you. And they are amazing, and you are amazing. And just, like, I think community is the biggest thing for me. Like, finding your community, finding people that you can trust and help you and support you in this journey, so that you do not have to be alone. I don't think any mom should be alone. Everybody needs someone to be able to lean on in those moments. So just find your community and lean on them, really.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
So true.
Is there anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Share?
This was great. Wow, this was great. It's not even that cold in here, actually, y'all.
We were like wondering how it gets cold.
This was great. I did end up changing my outfit too, because I definitely had like a crop top on, and then you guys texted me and was like, "It's cold in the studio." I was like, "Oh shit!" And I'm anemic, so like I'm always cold. So I was like, "All right, let me put on a hoodie." But it's warm in here, y'all. This is a cute little set. This is beautiful.
Perfect.
Yes, but thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys and the space that you've created. And we're MILFs.
We're
Period.
MILFs. We're those MILFs.
Okay.
Can we cheers to that,
yes.
please?
Cheers to being hot MILFs.
Woo!
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to have this beautiful conversation that we had. I think it's so important that you really did share your journey, your story, and like you're spreading so much awareness and education for people who don't know these things. So thank you
guys for listening. Thank you guys for being so open-minded about this. Like I said,
Always.
like autism is something that I really am passionate about, not just because my son has it, but I just like, I'm a lover. I care about people, you know, so
it's just that empathy.
Yeah. So I will always advocate for myself, for my son, for everybody, really.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh,
This was so fun.
this was amazing. This was so
this.
good. Okay, should we do our little outro?
Let's let her do hers first.
Yeah, let's do that.
Where can
Me?
everyone
Oh
find
God. Okay.
Where can everyone find you?
Yeah.
Got to. Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. Really on anything. It's ___ AEJAAA. So Aeja with 3 A's.
And I know you said you do photography.
I
so
do.
if you wanna promote
Yes,
that
you
while you're
can
here.
follow my photography page, photographed _by_A.
So
Oh
cool.
wait, my phone case actually has my logo on it.
Period.
Oh, I love that.
Period.
So
Love it.
nice.
Yes.
Cool.
You guys can follow us if you are not already doing that. Please do at a Young MILF podcast on every single thing you can fucking find. Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Lemonade, YouTube. I don't know where else. You know, whatever listening platform that you're listening on right now or watching or whatever you got going on. Please just press the follow,
Apple
press the subscribe.
Podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
Podcast.
Write
Everything.
something.
Yes.
Say something.
Leave a comment. We always like to talk to you guys in our comment sections. We always like to reach out if you want to. And yeah, definitely for YouTube, make sure you subscribe.
We're very active too. Like we will reply to everything. We will be liking your stories. Like we're very like
Yeah.
very supportive over here.
Always.
So yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Janni Rach and on TikTok at Your Fave Hot MILF because the fuck.
Period. And you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Rachel Anastasia.
Oh, and thanks to the Reservoir. I mean, I work here, but it's fine.
We still have to shout them out.
Yeah,
Shout out
exactly.
Kurt.
Shout out
Always.
Curtis. Oh
Yes.
crap, it's Kurt. And shout out at the Reservoir Philly for letting us record here and have our special guest here and have a good time and talk to women because the fuck.
Because the fuck.
Okay, well, I think that's all.
That's a wrap.
Yes,
Woo!
we did it.
Okay, bye everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Olipop.
Yes.
Thank you. And yes, shout out to Olipop
Shout out Ali Pop.
for fueling us.